Whether you work here, shop here, live here, or you just love the Downtown Cadillac vibe, this is your show. Hello, Downtowner. I'm Travis Owens, and today we are looking at the future of Mitchell Street through a very unique lens. You might recognize our guest today from your morning coffee run, but Braedan is doing a lot more than just caffeinating the Cadillac community. He's helping design it. Joining me is Braedan Johnigan, a dedicated community member and a student currently pursuing a career in city planning. We're exploring his connection to Downtown Cadillac, his active role on our Streetscapes committee, and why he's spending his time at zoning advisory meetings. Braedan, welcome. You could have been watching the NBA playoffs, catching up on your homework, or hanging out with your friends on Tuesday. Instead, you spent your time at the Downtown Cadillac Streetscapes Working Committee meeting. I'm not sure if that makes you the most dedicated downtowner we've ever had, or you really just need to find a more exciting hobby.
Yeah, absolutely. I do. I love spending my time at these meetings. I think, civic duty does not start and end just voting in the ballot booth. We have to find ways to be active and engaged members of our community, and I love that the opportunity is here for me to join this committee.
Active and engaged. Let's talk about how we met.
Yeah.
The first time I remember, I was talking to the crowd at a zoning advisory committee meeting. We were talking about the preliminary zoning code and the rewrite, and the consultant was there. And before the meeting, it was my first one. I was on the advisory committee. I just started making my rounds and saying hello to everyone. At that time, I was like, okay, yeah, this is pretty cool. It was nice to meet everyone. But it was not long after that I saw you at the Streetscapes committee meeting. And even in between, I talked to another member of city staff who was saying that you were at a planning commission meeting. And I was like, oh my gosh. You attend how many meetings a week, you think?
Yeah, I try to attend where I can. I have a class schedule to balance plus my work schedule, but I'm an online student, so I try to supplement my coursework with more real life experience. So showing up to meetings, seeing how those are run, really helps me kind of get a lens for what that role looks like if I were to take a staff position.
I won't tell anyone. Do you get school credit for attending these meetings?
I don't.
You don't?
I do it fully for my own, learning experience.
I think it's phenomenal. I don't know that it's true. You could disagree with me. You could always disagree with me if you want. I don't know if it's true, but I would guess that at our Streetscapes committee meeting, for example, you cut the average age in the room by half. Does that seem fair?
That seems like maybe a fair assumption.
I think it's refreshing. I think a large part of the reason that I wanted to have you on today is, one, I'm just so impressed by the fact that you're at these meetings, that you are engaged and so active in the community. But two, and kind of my own little benefit here, right? Doing it. I want to see more young people engaged in those civic processes. I read an article recently, MLive, about how in the state of Michigan, they're having a hard time filling volunteer positions, elected official positions, boards and commissions. And there were 3 reasons that they got to in the article. But before we even get into that, my question for you is, how are you received at these meetings? Is it easy to find out when they're happening? What has your experience been as far as getting involved?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm always welcomed with warm arms, it seems, right? I am typically, when I go to these meetings, probably the youngest person in the room. And I don't think that this ever been something that I'm looked down upon for. I think it's always an excitement that I've shown up and that I'm interested in what's going on in the city.
Okay. If we wanted to recruit more young people, where would we find them?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think my involvement, of course, comes with my studies. I have kind of the eye for what's going on. I think having flexibility in meeting times, in the evenings is great. Maybe a little later would be easier for some people working service jobs, different varying days. Although I do love the structured schedule so that I can plan around it.
How did you decide that you wanted to be a city planner?
Yeah, so I have always been a big walker, and I'm recently more into cycling, but having sidewalks that are available and accessible is such an important thing to me. And I think it's a big plus to community health in general. So I'm kind of really interested in broadening that experience for a lot of communities. Whatever community I end up working for, I would love it to be this one. But wherever I end up, that's always going to be a priority for me.
So career-wise, public service, that's the goal?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, very cool. So you know that you'll be working for local, state, federal government?
Maybe in 40 years.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that would be kind of my, swan song to the career. But
So Mitchell Street specifically, you're on Mitchell Street. 3 changes? Can you give me 3? Is that too many to ask for? Just tell me what you'd like to see to make the downtown experience a little more pedestrian friendly.
absolutely. I love the idea of bringing in tables and benches so people can kind of grab a cup of coffee, take a stroll, have a seat. I love the idea of like a pedestrian median in the street, so it's a little safer to cross in those mid-block crossings. I also love the idea of a bike lane. Right now, I bike to work during the summer every single day, and when weather permits, of course.
Yeah.
And I kind of take a very roundabout way to get to the other end of town. So if I could just directly feel safe going straight downtown, I would love that.
Yeah, bike lanes. I do remember that you brought up, I don't remember if it was that first time the zoning committee or at our Streetscapes committee meeting, but bike infrastructure, the importance of it, the type of stuff that we could have, identifying those opportunities. So it's great to have that voice as well on our committee. Great to have the perspective of not just, recreational cyclists, but some people cycle for transportation to and from work, and that's how they get around. And I think that certainly needs to factor into future planning. So
Absolutely. I think that when the infrastructure is there, people will feel more secure in utilizing it. People that are not biking right now will transition that to be one of their primary modes of transportation when weather permits.
yeah. Any other projects that the Streetscapes committee is working on that gets you excited?
Yeah, I'm really excited about the kind of general beautification that we're looking to achieve with the downtown corridor. I love that we're looking at a banner program. I think it's great to celebrate locals. I also really love that we're kind of changing up the vibe with the trash cans. I think that having a unified look and increasing the amount of trash cans we have will lead to a more beautiful community where trash is not just kind of lingering.
Yeah, I will say that I spent a lot of time, walking up and down Mitchell Street, and I am always picking up garbage, and I'm either picking it up off the ground or I'm finding it on windowsills. So, the hope is definitely to not just have some aesthetically pleasing, streetscape changing, vibe changing trash cans, but have enough that people use them. And of course, we have to hope that people use them. I really appreciate you coming in this morning. I know that you're very busy, barista by day, city planner by night. But yeah, it's just wonderfully refreshing to have that perspective. Very excited about the things that we can do and your participation. Is there anything else you want to add?
I'm just really excited to continue to be part of the conversation. And I hope that, as we look long term, we'll have a lot of great changes in the city that increase our community.
Yeah. Great changes coming. You heard it here. Hey, thanks a lot, Braedan.
Thank you.